Hello there everyone and welcome to another edition of Lydia's Crafty Corner with me, Lydia, in my little crafty corner. Now this is part of a blog hop, so don't forget to hop along. I will be showing you 3 ways to use the zero waste autumn leaves in this video. First up, I have a couple of cardstock colours here. I have the fabulous Forest Glades, we have some milk chocolate, we have the pumpkin pie, and also the honey drizzle and burnt red. I'll also be using some white solar white cardstock as well. So this is the zero waste autumn leaves die, and you can see that we have a panel here which is going to cover the front of an A2 card base, and we have some beautiful leaves in here that also have some embossed detail on them. So as I said, I will be using some white as well. I have cut all of my panels down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So these will quickly and easily fit on the front of an A2 card base. So I am going to cut all of these little panels that I've cut with the zero waste autumn leaves. Now I want to line this up in the center of this little panel. So once I have done that, I am going to add a little bit of tape. Now, like I said, I'm going to cut all of the colors of the panels that I have mentioned before. So I have 1 each of the colored panels, and I have 2 of the white ones. So the only one that I have double panels on is the white one. So once I have the panel cut, I am going to remove all of the little landlocked areas and pop them over to the side so I can use all of the pieces. So I've cut my white ones, and I'm then going to move on to the green and then the other colors, just to make sure that I have everything colored. And I am going to keep all of the pieces from everything apart from the little spots and dots on the colored panels that I have. So I have cut all of my panels, and you can see that they're nicely cut over to the side, but I have this fabulous perfect picker tool, and this is going to help me remove all of those little landlocked areas within the die cut that I've just die cut. So I am going to use this to help me push all of those little pieces through. It's really handy to have this little tool. So we have the picker on one side, and then the other side we have like a little wax tip, and that's going to help us place things with like that are really tiny and even sequins as well. So once I have finished with this one, I'm then going to move on to the other colors and just keep them in piles of the relevant ones with each of the relevant colors. So you can see here that I've gone ahead and I have done all of the little pushing out with my fabulous little picker tool. So I have my white ones, 2 white ones, I have the green one, an orange one, yellow, a red, and also a brown. So for my first card, I have another panel of cardstock, and this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I've just added some of the double-sided adhesive sheet from Altenew just on one side, and you can see how handy my little perfect picker come in again just to help me remove the backing off there. I'm then going to take one of the negative white die cuts, and I'm just lining that up onto position onto the sticky side of that card panel that we have. I haven't popped it down perfectly just yet, as I want to make sure that all the pieces are going to fit in it properly before I press everything down. I'm then just going to be doing a little inlay die cutting with all of the other colors that we have for the leaves and the little branches that we have. So because we have all of these other different colors around, we're going to have plenty of kind of variation with the color of leaves that I'm able to pop in. So what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that I have the right one to go into the right space before just popping that into position and then pressing it down onto the adhesive below. This is really therapeutic to do. It does take a little time, but as we know, inlay die cutting does normally take a little bit of time, but it is very pretty and very satisfying at the end. So for all the leaves, I used the colors, and then for the white little dots, I used the white die cuts because I had more of those and they didn't go as missing as the colorful ones. So for my second card, we are going to create kind of a shifted over stacked die cut. So I have all of my colored panels ready to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add adhesive to the back of one, line this one up over a different colored die cut panel, and then slightly shift it so I can see more of that color poking through the open areas of the die. I am using a wet glue for this. I find that this is the easiest way to do it, especially to kind of get that shift look, because you're going to have a little bit more of a wiggle room that you can do with this. So I am just doing this with my colored die cuts first, and then I'm making sure that I have them all in place. I'm then going to add my white one on top. I did want the white one on the top as it gives a cleaner look, and then you can kind of see those colors peeking through the die cut leaf elements from the front, and I think it looks so pretty. You are going to want to press this down really well so it's all nice and flat, especially when that glue is drying. And because we've shifted everything over, some things are going to be kind of peeking through from behind. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and just trim around the white edge to get a really clean look. And there you go. You can see just how different these panels look using the same die. And I just love that you can get so many different effects just with one thing. Another way to use it is to just use the little die cut leaves themselves. So I have a panel here which is smaller than an A2 card base. I believe I took 1/2 inch off one side and 1/2 inch off the top. I then drew a really light circle onto this panel where I want my wreath to go. And all I'm doing is I'm just using these little die cut leaves to make a wreath. I love the colors that we have here. They're very autumnal and it just makes my heart very happy, especially when I see the colors that like these leaves on real trees. It's something really cozy and special about the autumn season. So you don't necessarily just have to make wreaths like I am here. You can use these to kind of embellish other flower clusters that you have, use them with other dies. They're just so usable, and you can really create something really beautiful with just this die itself. So I have my wreath nearly complete now, and you can see that I'm just kind of building that up, and then I'm going to pop that over to the side. Now I'm going to create the sentiments for all of my cards in one go. So I have the One Go Solid Sentiment Strips press plate, and I have the plate nicely heated up on my glimmer machine. I'm then going to use some of the brushed gold foil from Altenew, and I'm going to pop that right on top of that plate. I'm then going to use the cardstock that I want to use on top of that. One of my plates for my glimmer machine, I'm also going to add in a couple of shims. I found that I needed 2 shims to get the perfect foiling with this plate, so I have added those between my 2 foiling plates. I'm then going to remove the whole kind of stage bit that we have there and then run that through my die cutting machine. And all you're going to want to do is run that through once. You don't want to do it twice because it may give you some ghost foiling, So once I have that, I can pop that back into place on there, remove the top plate and the shims. This is always kind of nerve-wracking, even when you are doing the voiceover, because hot foiling is one of those things where you just hold your breath until you can kind of see the full reveal. Now, a couple of these letters did kind of overfoil, but all I needed to do was just wipe off that foil and then it gave me that proper sentiment foiling, and you can see just how beautiful that is there. So with this One Go system as well, we also have the coordinating die. So I'm just going to place that into position over the foiled elements that we've just created. And now I don't want that to move, so I am going to add a little bit of the satin masking tape from Altenew just in place over the die. I'm trying not to get that on any of the foiling because I don't want that to lift, but I don't want it to move around either. So once I'm happy with that, I can add on the top cutting plate and then run that through my die cutting machine as well. So I'm just going to run that through once. It doesn't need any more than that to give that perfect professional cut. So once that's done, I'm just going to lift that plate up, and then you can see that we have all of these fabulously foiled sentiments that we can use on cards. I love a One Go sentiment. I'm not one for loving to create sentiments, so the fact that I've got loads of these foiled sentiments in one go does make me really happy. And they're all different shapes and for all different occasions, so you're going to be able to use these again and again. I would just keep a stash of these over to the side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pop these sentiments onto my cards. I am using some of the instant dimension foam tape from Altenew to add a little bit of dimension to these beautifully foiled sentiments. So for some of them, I have had to kind of trim down that instant dimension foam tape just to make sure that it fits behind my sentiment strip. So there is that one, and then we have the last one now. So again, I have trimmed that little instant dimension foam tape just to fit behind that sentiment. Remove the backing, and then you can pop that into place. I have added my sentiments on various different parts of the cards just to give a different look to each one of these ways to use the zero waste autumn leaves die. So we have the inlay die cut in here. Then we have the shifting of the stacked die cuts, and I just think that this looks very, very pretty, very classy, a great card to give on all different occasions. And then the other way is to use all of those die cuts to create a wreath, or you could also use it to add in embellishments or leaves to other things that you have. So here is the cards complete. We really do hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you do create a card that was inspired by this, it'd be great if you do share, because we'd love to see. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you again really, really soon. Bye-bye. Hey there, Lydia here. I really do hope that you've just enjoyed the video. If so, please subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, turn on the notification bell so you can get your daily dose of crafty techniques and tutorials just like this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.